Hey, it's Christy the Creative Badass, and today I'm going to talk about myself or how I work. I get a lot of questions about how I work, what my process is, what I take clients through, and I just thought I would talk about it for a little bit. And it was just funny. I had an interview recently with a organization I was thinking of doing some work for, and the guy I was interviewing with, they'd already had a divorce coach sort of involved in some of their stuff, and they wanted to know if I was any different, and I was like, dude, my company is called Creative Badass Divorce. Of course I'm different, but I don't know, what can you say? So my process is really about like this. The work that I do with my clients, it's about my client. It's not about their ex. It's not a bitch session. Can have that with your girlfriends. It's not a like blame game, whose fault is what. It's really about the client. It's about you. It's about, working through your stuff and helping you get to a really good place, building that foundation for where you're going to take off. And that being said, absolutely, I realize that your ex is most likely on the periphery somewhere in your story. If you're co-parenting, he's there at different times, and that story does kind of play out parallel, but I don't bring him into the work that we do. This is just really about you and your emotions and your feelings and working through all that stuff and you taking the pen and rewriting your story. Building ways to connect with yourself and to move forward is really what it is. So the first step is that it's sort of like, I call it like getting out the deep end of the pool, and you've been in that deep end of the pool for a while, most likely the last few years maybe of your marriage, maybe the last decade of your marriage. You were in the deep end of the pool. You were thrashing around, trying to keep your head above water, emotionally, mentally, physically, all those things, and just getting weighed down and sort of not having the ability or knowing where to get like that life preserver that's going to get you out. So the first phase is that we work through all that emotional stuff, mental stuff, physical stuff that might come up. Because if you don't get rid of that stuff, it's just going to follow you around. All those emotions that you're burying down deep inside, they're going to pop up in different relationships, with your kids, with new potential partners in your life, all that stuff, and it's just going to keep you sort of stuck and buried as well. And that is not why you went through a divorce, is so you could remain bitter and closed off and full of resentment. There's just like a great chance to redo and move on from where you are. So that first part is that getting out of the deep end of the pool. And the next part then, once we sort of deal with those emotions and get you to like a place where you're ready to start dreaming and imagining, we start talking about possibilities, like what is possible now? When was the last time that you had a dream or a thought or something about your future that was really exciting? So we talk about that. We work through it. I'll give you lots of tools to use. Creativity is one of my big tools that I love and I use all the time. It's just a way to really create yourself, because that's what you're doing post-divorce. You are creating your new identities. So I help women sort of access that creative part of themselves that's been closed off for a long time. And we get really messy with it, and it's so good and so healing and so powerful. And then another piece that I bring into my coaching is this idea of sober curiosity, and that is sort of taking the dullness that alcohol brings into your brain, your everything. It just adds like this damper onto who we are, our confidence, our anxiety, depression. It just adds to that and makes things worse. So I talk a lot about sober curiosity. Like, what does it look like if you don't sit on the couch on Friday night when your kids are at their dad's with a bottle of wine? You know, what does it look like if you go out with girlfriends and you go on a hike instead of, going to for the traditional like girls fun night out, and waking up with a really shitty hangover the next day? Like, what does that look like if you remove that? How does your healing move forward? How are you feeling with all of that? How does it affect your mental capacity, your physical capacity, like all those things? So it's a big piece of the puzzle, and that is what we do. We just experiment. We see what works for you, what doesn't. I don't have a checklist that I give you and is like, here, once you get through these 5 steps, you will be healed, on your way, woohoo. So I co-create a lot of this stuff with you as we're going through it. So that's just like a little bit of an overview of my process. You can definitely check out other videos and go through my feed and see some of the work that I've done with women. But and if you have any questions, please reach out, DM me. I love getting DMs. I respond to them. And that's all I got. So I hope to connect with you soon. Take care. Bye.